things could go wrong. There could be unprecedented events that change the pattern of 160 years of history. But we've seen something brand new this time. The 300 billionaire Elon Musk putting his thumb on the scales through his control of X, formerly Twitter. It's been reported that his misinformation has had billions, literally billions of views.
All right, guys. So as Allan Litchman continues to crash out and make ridiculous excuses for why his 13 keys were wrong in the 2024 election, I want to start today's video with just one simple question, which is, Allan Litchman, what happened? What happened? How did you get the keys wrong? Because the whole thing is just so hilarious. If you guys are not familiar, you can go watch our first video on Allan Litchman and how he was just completely melting down over the fact that he got the election wrong. And instead of taking accountability, all he did was make excuses. He said it was misinformation and racism and xenophobia that made his supposedly objective, very objective, right, presidential model wrong in 2024. He obviously predicted Kamala Harris to win. But the guy is doubling down on his ridiculous excuses. So we'll show you that here today. Please, though, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new. And why should you subscribe? Because it ensures we can keep bringing you these videos. We're trying to hit 400,000 subs before Donald Trump's inauguration. And in the name of all collectively here laughing at Allan Litchman, just do it. Hit that red button. And with that said, he recently went on Chris Cuomo's show to again, try to verify or clarify his explanation of why he got this election wrong. And the conclusions he's arriving at are just so hilarious. We had to listen to them. Take a look.
Yes, as I said, things could go wrong. There could be unprecedented events that change the pattern of 160 years of history. That's what happened here. Two things. Number one, disinformation. We've always had disinformation, but disinformation has exploded to an unprecedented degree. You talked about a grievance election, but a lot of that grievance was driven by disinformation. Starts with Fox News and conservative media, conservative podcasters with tens of millions of views. But we've seen something brand new this time. The 300 billionaire Elon Musk putting his thumb on the scales through his control of X, formerly Twitter. It's been reported that his misinformation has had billions, literally billions of views. And this has spread to every aspect of this election.
So right off the gate, okay, apparently Elon Musk is the reason that the 13 keys got turned upside down because of misinformation, as if the other political side has never had their own narrative or their own opinions. Like that's the first time, this is the first time ever in history where the right-wing people got a chance to actually make their own arguments. Well, maybe that's true. That's true to a degree because of the buying of X and what that did for free speech in this country. But still, it's so funny because according to Allan, the reason his keys were wrong is not because he misinterpreted the economy. Like I brought up before, the American voter perception of the economy was not good. It has very little to do with the misinformation. It has to do with the fact that Americans know what they are living. And I pointed out previously, Allan did adjust the keys in 1992 to point out, hey, even though the economy was recovering from the Gulf War recession because voter perception was bad of the economy, that's why Clinton won. So it's not like this is unprecedented. He's made several adjustments to the keys in the past, but you see a guy right now who is just completely seething and making excuses because he doesn't want to admit that actually he was just very biased and that's why he got the entire situation wrong. No, it was misinformation and Elon Musk has so much money. As if, number one, it's such a ridiculous argument because first of all, money in politics has been around. It's been a thing. Okay, you didn't change your keys after Citizens United, so why are you changing them now? Secondly, the Kamala campaign, Allan, raised $1 billion. In contrast, Trump only had $388 million. So what kind of argument is that? This is all just insane cope. It really boils down to this. The guy is a hardcore Democrat, and he is so Trump deranged that he got so delusional that his supposedly objective interpretation of his very subjective model just completely fell apart. Okay, and the guy's crashing out, and let's keep listening because I'm having fun.
There was misinformation about everything about the economy, inflation, jobs, unemployment, the stock market, growth. There is vast disinformation about undocumented immigrants, that they're supposedly killers who are out to get you. In fact, studies by Cato and the National Institute of Justice show undocumented immigrants are the most law-abiding segment of our society, committed crimes and violent crimes, less than half that of native-born Americans.
Okay, so again, you're just campaigning for Kamala right now, is what you're doing, even though she lost. It's over, buddy. Wrap it up. But here's the thing, Alan. It's not true. Okay, it's not disinformation. It's that actual information's being allowed to come out. But even if that's true, then why didn't you factor it into your keys? You would say, oh, but that's subjective. You know, it's this or that. Well, again, your keys are subjective. Okay, for instance, scandal, right? Has there been a major scandal under the administration? Well, you could bring up the border, you could bring up Biden's mental decline or whatever, and you'd say, no, that's not objective. Those are not scandals. Okay, fair enough. But what is a major scandal and what's not is an issue of like public perception. So you didn't think to factor in, hey, maybe that there is this quote unquote disinformation, but that could change the way American people view something like foreign policy failure, which is one of your keys, Afghanistan, obviously. Scandal, I would argue the border. I would argue Joe Biden's mental decline, all that stuff. Primary challenge with Kamala Harris. The economy, by the way, again, you know, so you're still coping and it's just ridiculous. By the way, I love the economy one. Oh, there's misinformation about the economy. First of all, let's point this out. What did Democrats do back in 2019 when the Trump economy was doing well? They said, oh, but the American people don't feel it. You know, it's not hitting their pocketbooks the same way. You know, it's like, it's just numbers on a screen. Okay, fair enough. So if that's what the American people vote on, which is how they actually feel about the economy, everyone felt bad. They were screaming this from the rooftops. They said the economy is the most important issue. Consumer confidence was collapsing, all this stuff, inflation, etc. And you just said it was not real. What a smug, idiot, really.
Spread to the hurricane relief, spreading lies that hurricane relief dollars were being diverted to migrants. It's lies about the Ukraine war, that somehow Ukraine was responsible for having one of the world's great powers invade a third or fourth rate power. And, as scholars have shown, once you dissolve truth, democracy dissolves along with it.
Yeah, but clearly this guy was so unbiased and objective when he made his prediction that, again, was wrong. Okay. It's funny. Everyone refers to Allen as the smug professor, but I think it's getting worse than that. The guy's completely lost his mind, right? He was in his room this entire election trying to change the keys to fit Kamala Harris winning. Because remember, he said that Biden staying in was the Democrats' only chance. He said Biden has to stay in for my keys to work. Biden drops out and he still says Kamala Harris is going to win. So he was turning the keys. Oh, let me cope this, cope that. And then he is wrong for it. And like I said, it's like listening to the senile mad scientist. Imagine Doc Brown from Back to the Future, but he doesn't actually have a time machine and he's literally just crazy. That's Allan Litchman right now. I'm a professor. My model is based on science. No, it's not working. No, but the keys. My keys are right. Everyone else is wrong. You guys are all wrong. That didn't happen. It's not real. The American people fell to disinformation. Losing his freaking mind. And the funniest part, we uncovered this clip recently. Apparently, Allan Litchman did not just lose his mind after the election. He kind of must have known because he was even going crazy before. Take a listen to this clip from October 18th in an interview with The Telegraph, and it just shows you so much about this guy.
You predicted Donald Trump would win the popular vote victory, which he didn't actually, but he did, of course, win the
I've got to stop you right there because stop, or I'm going to stop this interview. You are spreading misinformation. And, there has been this concerted campaign against me that started, by a couple of wannabe unknown journalists claiming I didn't predict Donald Trump's victory. That is an outright lie. I clearly, in my...
You see how delusional this guy is? There is a concerted effort to take me. Dude, nobody cares about you, okay? You basically were trotted out and made very popular in this election cycle specifically because you were providing a lot of hopium to the Democrats that, hey, maybe we're actually going to win. Maybe, that's it though. Okay, there's no concerted campaign against you. Like no one's trying to sabotage you or take you down. Everyone's laughing at you. Do you understand this? There's a concerted campaign. They're going to take me down. Like I said, a delusional old man who is completely losing his mind. And I think the very sad part about all of it is I've actually been a defender of the 13 keys. Not that I think it's perfect or bulletproof or whatever, but I think they generally do represent a pretty strong model for predicting presidential elections. And as I've been saying, if you interpret this one correctly, you would easily see why Donald Trump won. Because yes, I do think it is the best predictor of elections. Well, basically, how is the incumbent party doing, right? If the economy is good, foreign policy is good, there's no social unrest, there are, no major scandals, all that stuff, then the American people want stability. They'll view the current leadership as stable, and they'll vote for the incumbent party again. Like, I don't think that's a bad predictor at all. I would call that basically a pretty common sense model in how to predict an election. And then on the flip side, if the incumbent party is doing badly, then the American people want change and they vote for the opposite party. Yes, that's true. Allan is right, okay, which is the saddest part of this all. There could still be an angle where he has credibility if he did not become such a delusional, like crazy Democrat that is just totally biased in all of this. But it is what it is. Once again, he just refuses to take accountability. It's the voters' fault. It's Elon Musk's fault. It's everyone's fault except him as to why he read his keys wrong. But fine. You know what? Either way, we're getting rid of this guy from the public eye. He's never going to have credibility ever again. Even if he gets 2028 right, he's no longer political Nostradamus because he sold out his entire credibility and standing because he was so Trump deranged. And you hate to see it, I guess. You hate to see it. But yeah, with that said, guys, there was Allan Litchman's meltdown. He's still going around. He's still doubling down on this. We got to also cover, apparently his son tried to make a response video to Cheng from TYT, who was laughing at him. So there's so many different angles on this guy. But for now, we'll leave it at that. Allan, what happened to your keys? What happened? So guys, be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new. And until next time, God bless and peace.